Good evening, guys. This is Brad with College Sportscast. Tonight we are sitting watching some basketball games and the college football week 3 for the college football poll come out just a few minutes ago. And the guys are kind of wanting to get together and kind of do a rapid reaction of the poll. So I've got all three of them on. I got Mason, John Hammonds, and John Roberts with me. And we're going to kind of do a reaction of the poll. Might talk a little basketball afterwards, but the first thing we're going to cover is the college football playoff rankings that just come out. So, Mason, I'm going to open up with you. You're the one to talk.
Let Hammonds go first, because I'm going to respond to this.
All right, let Hammonds go first. All right, John, you usually go first anyway.
Well, I don't agree with TCU being the fourth best team in the country. You look at Tennessee. They've got 5 top 5 wins, top 25 wins. You know, and yeah, TCU's got some wins under their belt, but look who they played though. Like,
TCU also has 5 top 25 wins.
I get that. That's not what I'm saying. It's the competition that they're playing against though. Tennessee's played Georgia, Alabama,
LSU.
Beat a good LSU team that's in the SEC championship now. Beat Alabama, which Alabama hasn't been up to par to what everybody wants them to be, but they still beat Alabama. I think it's the level of competition, in my opinion, that they're going against.
So the level of competition in the Big 12 isn't as good. The Big 12 has been one of the best conferences this year.
I'm not denying that. I'm just saying if you look at it from, strength of schedule perspective, LSU, they're going to the SEC championship. They beat Alabama. Tennessee beat Alabama.
Alabama's not that good of a team this year. They should have lost to Texas.
I get that, but Alabama and these teams that are in the SEC are 2 times the teams in the Big 12. That's just my take on it.
That's what everybody says every year, but every time the Big 12 plays the SEC, it's a lot closer than anybody expected it to be, right?
I disagree with that. Look what happened a couple of years back. Oklahoma, they was giving.
They lost to the best team in the college football history, LSU.
He's going to point out that Baylor beat Georgia.
We're going to talk about Oklahoma and LSU. LSU had arguably the best college football team in history. Oklahoma, my bad, versus LSU. But look at Oklahoma versus Georgia. Look at Oklahoma versus Bama. The SEC, they always talk about how good they are, but when they play the Big 12, it's never a blowout. And Roberts brought up what I was about to bring up too.
I was like, you're going to bring up the whole Baylor versus Georgia, or Texas versus Georgia. Was it Texas? Or it was Texas, because that was Sam, or whatever his name, walking out going, we're
Ellinger. Yes, sir. But, we're going to sit here and really bash the Big 12 that bad? They're still an undefeated Power 5 team. Tennessee, we already know what Tennessee's going to do versus the number 1 team. They're going to choke. We've already seen it. We don't know what TCU's going to do.
And we've already seen Georgia versus Tennessee.
That's what I said. Yeah, we don't know. We already know what Tennessee's going to do. If they get matched up against each other, it's going to be.
So if Tennessee gets the 4 spot and Georgia holds on to the 1 spot, like they probably will. Then all you get is a rematch between Georgia and Tennessee. We already seen that.
And if TCU goes undefeated,
well, we're going to get a rematch of TCU versus whoever they play in the championship game.
TCU, K-State, as long as K-State wins, but I think TCU is going to win that game.
Yeah, so that's a rematch.
But that's not on.
That's a rematch in the Big 12 championship. I'm talking about the college football playoff championship.
So if it comes down to it, and TCU is 13-0 and Tennessee's 11-1, you can't tell me TCU isn't the better team than Tennessee because they won out a Power 5 conference. I don't care what conference you play in, except for the Pac-12.
So we are comparing.
I was about to bring that up.
We're comparing Tennessee right now, but the truth is that LSU has a chance to jump them.
LSU has a chance to jump Tennessee.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
But at that point, TCU controls their own destiny, in my opinion. You're going to knock out an undefeated Power 5, 13-0 Big 12 champ and include a 2-loss SEC champ and a 1-loss SEC
No, I didn't say that. Honestly, I think if TCU wins out, they deserve to be in. That's my opinion.
I mean, they've been through the grind.
Yeah, TCU's losing to Baylor this week, so
what the,
it's going to be funny.
I want some of whatever.
I said if TCU wins out,
it's going to happen.
I'm not sure about that. Me and you agree on most things.
Hammonds, if we're comparing one-loss teams and TCU's a one-loss team and Tennessee's a one-loss team, then I agree with you that Tennessee probably gets that spot over TCU if we're comparing
but right now,
one-loss
that's not what
teams.
we're comparing.
Right. I said, but in the end, if we're comparing one-loss teams.
Yeah, but maybe we're comparing 2 one-loss teams. But right now, TCU...
Okay, apples and pears. I'm sorry.
TCU deserves that number 4 spot right now.
I think they do as well. Being undefeated,
if it was Oklahoma or if it was Texas that's undefeated right now, they're easily getting that 4 spot without argument.
Can we talk about the SEC bias in this poll, this rankings?
I would love to because I'm not an SEC fan, but I'm the only one. So
Alabama jumps Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
LSU jumps USC.
Mm-hmm. But so this next weekend decides the Pac-12.
Is there not some clear SEC bias in this ranking?
There is, but this next weekend decides the Pac-12 because it's UCLA, USC, right, and then Utah, Oregon. I'm pretty sure. I want to say.
What'd you say? What were the games?
USC
and UCLA.
Yep, I'm pretty sure. Yep.
Yeah.
And isn't it Utah, Oregon?
Yes, I think that's right.
Yes, it's Utah, Oregon. So this next weekend decides the SEC or decides the Pac-12.
Right, but the Pac-12, the only team that even has an outside shot of making the playoff would be USC.
I'm not denying.
Yeah, but the Pac-12 has proven that it wants to not make the playoffs. So USC will lose.
Yes, if USC loses, the Pac-12 is out. Period.
But all I'm saying is, getting back on topic, TCU deserves that 4 spot right now, in my opinion. As of right now, undefeated, Power 5. Currently, they deserve that 4 spot.
I agree. I think they do as well. They're the undefeated Big 12 team right now.
Yep.
And if it comes down to it and everything boils down the same way, TCU deserves it over Tennessee. If everything stays the same.
If TCU
Michigan's going to get blown out by Ohio State.
If butts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas.
But yeah, Michigan's going to get blown out by Ohio State at the shoe.
Stop talking about nuts.
Michigan's going to be out. I mean, once Michigan gets blown out by 35 to Ohio State, it's going to be a different story because then Tennessee can slip in, or you have a 1-loss USC potentially to slip in.
And then we're going to get LSU that blows the doors off this whole damn thing.
Wouldn't that be?
Yeah, because they're going to lose. They're going to lose to A&M at the end of the season, and that's going to be what's funny.
They're going to lose to A&M and then beat Georgia by 21.
Yeah, and then
this
beat
whole
Georgia.
Entire thing.
Yeah, that'd be
going to be off.
And then this will be just absolutely a shit show beyond shit show.
It'll be the best podcast we ever do.
I know.
That is true.
How about that Bo Nix though? He did, he rallied his team to. Oh wait, never mind, they lost.
Hey, I knew that game was going to be a tough game, and I told y'all that Penix had been playing well when we first started that argument. Penix actually early in the season, about week 4, was leading the Pac-12 in passing yards and touchdowns.
True, but his defense is not very good, so.
Yeah. I mean, look, his defense isn't very good, and that's why UCLA lost.
What is up with UCLA? How did they lose to Arizona?
I don't know.
Like, seriously, how did they lose to
I
Arizona
told
the
you,
other night?
the Pac-12 does not want to win a championship.
That's what it comes down to.
I mean, seriously.
My question is, how is Alabama still ranked as high as they are?
Well, how did Alabama, and Hammonds, you answer this. How did Alabama jump Clemson?
I don't know. That's a question we all wonder.
Like, seriously, I don't understand it. Clemson's a one-loss
Well, when
team.
Clemson becomes, when either Clemson or UNC becomes ACC champion, they will jump Alabama. But until then, they're going to stay below them.
Me and Brad had this conversation the other night about the ACC.
Yeah,
we were talking about it.
We did.
I was saying, so if it boils down to if a one-loss ACC team or a one-loss Tennessee, that's if everything else pans out and kind of opens up some doors, that's where things get interesting.
It'll be a one-loss Tennessee. That's who it'll be. It won't be the ACC.
But North Carolina has the best quarterback in college football, so they could win.
But he doesn't have a defense, so he's not going to do anything.
He doesn't have a defense. North Carolina's
because
defense
it's a
is
former
terrible.
Auburn defensive coordinator, and that's the reason why.
North Carolina's defense is terrible.
North Carolina's defense is saving their best for the last. Leave them alone.
That's the only reason why Drake May might not make the playoffs is because his defense is going to fail him at the end.
No,
North Carolina, Oklahoma State all have bad defenses, and there's one common denominator.
Auburn.
The D coordinators are former Auburn D coordinators.
So, Hammonds, does LSU deserve to jump USC? Because I don't think they do.
What's the question again?
Does LSU deserve to jump USC? They're 6 now, and they jumped USC, who's a one-loss team.
I think so. You know, they beat Alabama. Not saying Arkansas is chopped liver, but
that was a terrible game. 13 they should have lost.
But winning on the road in the SEC has a lot of weight.
But they really should have lost that game. I know they didn't.
They should have lost. Yeah.
Here's what they did. Here's what they did is they ranked Alabama really high, so that they could give LSU the ability to jump, to be able to jump USC.
Yeah.
Because then they say, look at that loss. That loss is pretty good.
And they'll probably wind up doing the same thing to Tennessee too.
Hey, Hammonds, bro, me and you have been friends for so long. Now we're just starting to drift apart.
I know, man.
Oh, no.
Huh?
If USC finishes with one loss, wins out, they have – what is their offensive ranking? I guess I don't really know off the top of my head. But under Lincoln Riley, they have to have one of the best offenses in the country, right?
I don't think they're top 5, but I think they're close.
And I know Dye got hurt, so he's out. They're starting running back. But still, this is where the speculation comes down to.
Well,
this is why we need 12 teams.
I'm not sure that a one-loss ACC or a one-loss Pac-12 jumps.
You have to remember, though, that's not what it's going to be.
Either Ohio State or Michigan, because one of them is going to have one loss, or a one-loss Tennessee.
So, based on total offense, which they're going yards per game, I think this is what they're looking at. Tennessee is number 1, Oregon's number 2, Georgia's number 3, North Carolina number 4, UCLA number 5, Ohio State number 6, USC number 7.
Total yards?
Total yards per game.
Yeah.
Yards per game.
Right. I knew they were up in there somewhere. I didn't think they were top 5.
Is that updated after UCLA's piss poor performance against Arizona?
I mean, it have to be very recently right now. I mean, I'm just looking at it today. So
Yeah.
total yards anyway, like just total yards in the season. Tennessee won. Auburn's next opponent, Western Kentucky, number 2.
Yeah.
Then let's see, North Texas, Oregon, Georgia, North Carolina, UCLA, Ohio State, USC. Then it kind of all they do is they insert North Texas and Western Kentucky.
Right. So it's
between
still
1 and
basically
2,
the same.
and everything is basically the same. Yeah.
Right.
Let's just speculate, right? So if everything plays out, so we have Georgia, Ohio State, and TCU, undefeated Power 5 champs, right?
That leaves one spot.
Yep. So then you have Tennessee, Michigan, a Power 5 USC, or a Power 5 Clemson or UNC. That is where it's going to come down to. Is there any SEC biased? Is there a Power 5, poll to get you in?
Well, so in that scenario, the only one-loss SEC team is going to be Tennessee.
Yeah, as long as Georgia doesn't lose to
Right. Unless Georgia loses, you're right. You're right on that.
Right. Georgia's the only one that could
be
screw
another
the
one
whole
loss.
thing up.
Yeah.
So if it comes down to that, though, who gets in? Do you put in the Michigan that maybe lost by 3 to Ohio State?
I think it depends on how that game goes. I think if Michigan, if it's a field goal game or a late touchdown game and it's a competitive
Tennessee
game.
Tennessee lost by 14, right? So that's what the margin has to be for Michigan then, right?
Well, Tennessee did lose by 14 to Georgia, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that has to be the margin. Is Michigan loses by less than 14 to Ohio State.
So you think
right?
You think if that happens, then Michigan deserves to get in over Tennessee?
That's what I'm asking. I'm just saying. So Tennessee lost by 14 to Georgia.
When me and you talked about this the other night, Tennessee has a lot more better wins than Michigan does.
Michigan has the run offense that
correct
is just kind of Michigan's offense is a little bit different. You got to stop the run, but no team can stop that run yet, right?
I get you, but Michigan has not played the teams. They don't have the wins against ranked teams and stuff that Tennessee does.
Well, I get that too, but then you bring in so Tennessee beats out Michigan in your opinion then. You bring in USC and or Clemson or North Carolina. Clemson's proved they can win in the college football playoff era.
Well, just to be on the fun side of all of this, in my opinion, if North Carolina was to run the table and beat Clemson, I actually would really like to see North Carolina in the college football playoff.
North Carolina, Georgia would be a great game.
I really would like. Do I think that would happen? Probably not. But would I like to see that? I think it would be kind of cool to have a shot at a team like that nobody is expecting to ever be there, and to run the table and be 12-1, win the ACC, beat Clemson in the championship game. I would like to see North Carolina get that spot if it was.
Isn't that championship game at North Carolina too? I think isn't it in a Raleigh?
It is in North Carolina. I'm not sure.
It's in Charlotte.
It's in Charlotte.
It's in Charlotte.
They're going to be playing in their home state.
It's at the Panther Stadium.
Okay.
They'll be playing in their home state too.
It's at the Panther Stadium.
Okay. Well, so I mean, that's just my opinion. If
it's like Georgia playing in Atlanta.
Right. Yeah. But if North Carolina was to run the table and beat Clemson and win the ACC, I would really like to see them make it, to be honest. That's just.
You'd put them in over Tennessee?
If you're asking me who I would like to see there, I honestly would like to see North Carolina there.
As part of the committee, you're already seen Tennessee, Georgia. Would you put in North Carolina over Tennessee to play Georgia?
So if you're asking me if I'm on the committee?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, then you're putting me in the spot because I think Tennessee has better wins and all. But
That
at
don't
the
matter in
same
the playoffs.
time, I don't know. I might vote North Carolina if I was down to it.
We already know the outcome of Georgia-Tennessee, right? That was the biggest thing. If it would have been like a 3-point game, 2-point game decided at the end, Tennessee all the way. But it wasn't. It was one-sided pretty much the whole game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like 24-6 at one time or something like that and then, so.
So that's where it comes down to. Are you going to put Tennessee
It
back
wasn't as close as even a 14-point game for most of
you
the
going to put
teams.
Tennessee back in that spotlight? Did Tennessee lose that bad because they were in Athens? Or did they lose that bad because they don't have the talent to keep up with Georgia?
Well, I don't think a whole lot of teams have the talent to keep up with Georgia, but Hammonds, what do you say about the whole North Carolina thing that I mentioned?
I think they're in the right spot.
So if North Carolina was to run the table and beat Clemson, wouldn't it be kind of cool to see them in there?
I would. I agree, yeah. I think
Would
it
you
would.
put them in over
What
Tennessee?
happens if NC State beats North Carolina next week?
Well, then North Carolina is out of the college football playoff. They may still have a chance to win the ACC, but they don't deserve to be in the college football playoff.
I think if NC State beats them, doesn't NC State clinch?
No, it's already clinched to North Carolina and Clemson, I'm pretty sure.
Is it?
I think all the rest of them have at least 2 losses.
I know NC State has 3.
Well, I'm talking about in-conference losses is what I meant.
NC State only has 3 total. North Carolina only has 1.
Right.
Clemson only has 1.
Right.
I guess I'm not. I know NC State lost to Clemson.
Yeah, they lost. I think they have 2, but I'm not sure. Conference losses.
Going at the Roberts. He's a professional.
Who?
Who? NC State. Who all they lose to? I know they lost to Clemson.
NC State lost to. Let me pull them up just a second. Because they lost to Clemson. I know that. That's one.
Yeah, that's my.
They've got 3 conference losses.
They have 3 conference.
They're 3-3 in the conference.
Yeah.
They're 3-3 in the conference.
Okay, so as long as North Carolina beats NC State, then they have a chance in playoffs, then, right?
So I think they have to play Wake Forest and NC State. I think that's their 2 remaining games.
Who?
North Carolina.
It's not Wake Forest, I don't think.
Or they played Wake Forest this past week. They played Wake Forest this past week on Saturday, won 36-34. Is that right?
UNC is playing. I just had it. Sorry, I'm looking at next week. That's NC State. Sorry, that's last game of the season's NC State.
Yeah, and North Carolina. But who are they playing this week?
I know. I'm going back. Sorry. Good Lord. It's taking a second. Everything is going. They're playing Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech. So they played Wake Forest this past Saturday. Yeah.
Possibly. I can't remember.
They did. That was one of their remaining games. But they played them this past Saturday. So they played Georgia Tech, which they should win. And then they got to play NC State to close out the season. But I think that they've already clinched that division. I'm pretty sure it's already Clemson versus North Carolina.
Yes, because North Carolina is undefeated in the ACC.
Yes, they're undefeated in the ACC. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but
who's their 1 loss?
North Carolina?
Yeah.
Didn't they lose to like App State or somebody?
No, they
beat App State by 1.
Yeah, they snuck it out against
East Carolina.
I can't remember. It was early in the year.
Give me a second, and I'll go find it out. Okay, let's see. North Carolina's loss is Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
So that's right, because Notre Dame has beaten both North Carolina and Clemson, and people were joking around that they should get the ACC championship ring
Okay.
because they're halfway in the ACC.
Yeah, they are
beat the
halfway
two
in the
teams
ACC. I got you. Yeah.
for the championship. Just like they can go out and beat the two teams in
So
the
the
Pac-12.
ACC championship game is already locked at Clemson and North Carolina.
I think so. Yes.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I don't know. I still don't understand why Dabo is still hanging with DJ. He's not the guy. Klubnik, isn't that his name? The backup, the 5-star freshman.
Yeah.
Klubnik. Yeah.
He has the potential to be the best quarterback in a while.
I think he just wants to have the guy that you have to really, truly, like, remember how to pronounce his name.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to pronounce his last name, so.
I don't think. I don't think he's starting next year though. If you're Clemson,
probably not.
You're starting that young 5-star, so then DJ's gonna hit the transfer, in my opinion. Probably another Miami quarterback.
Could be. I mean, DTR is gone at UCLA. You think he'd go back out west? Isn't that where he's from?
I think so. I mean,
all right. So I want to finish this up by asking this question with the college football rankings and playoffs. If Ohio State loses to Michigan, does Ohio State still get that 4th spot?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Hammonds,
yes.
What do you say?
Yeah.
You think they do?
Yeah, Robert, sit down. 2-1.
That's just your opinion.
No. They wanted me to be on the committee.
I just wondered what you guys would think. So if Ohio State loses to Michigan
by 3 or by, well, let's say 6 or less, yes.
Over Tennessee?
Yeah,
yes.
Illinois is going to beat Michigan this week.
Oh, my Lord.
Illinois is going to beat Michigan?
He is on one tonight.
UCLA is going to beat USC.
And Baylor's going to beat TCU. Really, isn't that what you said?
Correct. And now that way, again, we're creating chaos. And I'm an agent of chaos.
Yes, you are. All right. So is there any other question that y'all want to ask about this college football playoff ranking?
I do.
What's that?
Why isn't it 12 teams in the playoffs?
It's going to be, damn it. Will you quit talking about it?
How many terrible games are we going to have when we get 12 teams into the playoffs?
Well,
that's the thing. Bama's bad this year. I don't know if
Bama would host. Would they not?
Well, good for Bama. They would host a whole entire loss.
Then they would beat the shit out of whoever they played.
You think so? So Bama's 8. So it'd be a what? 8 versus.
It'd be like an 8-9.
No, would it be? It wouldn't be an 8-9 with 12 teams. So it'd be 1-12.
You got 5-12.
The first. No.
Yeah.
So who would Bama play then, Robert, right now?
It's 5-12.
Okay, so here's
6-11.
Well, you're gonna have to. You still have to insert Tulane because you're gonna have to put the highest group of 5.
And they'll be.
Or sorry, nope, it won't be Tulane because the highest group
Tulane's
of 5
18
is UCF.
It's UCF right now, I think.
So UCF Bama, is that what it would be?
So it would be 5 and 12, right?
That's exactly what I just said.
I know. I'm looking at it. Okay. Good Lord. So that's Tennessee, Oregon, right? Except that would be Tennessee and UCF.
UCF, yes.
So Dana White and Hype will get to play their old school.
And then you have 6-11. And then you have 7-10, and then 8 and 9 play each other. So right now,
Bama, Clemson.
Yes, right now it would be Bama and Clemson.
So
you gonna tell me Bama's gonna whoop Clemson?
Here's my question: Here's my question.
No, we ain't going back to a question. You just said Bama would blow them out. Bama, Clemson, you think Bama blows them out?
I think that game would be just a really bad game to watch.
But why?
Because both of them would look really bad. It would be a 14-10 game.
That's the point of watching the playoffs. You want to see the best teams
I don't
play.
want to watch that.
If you want to watch a high-scoring game, go watch the Big 12.
Yes.
So you said
So who's 7-10 right now?
USC and Utah.
USC and Utah. Well, that would be your 7-10.
Do you bump 12 Oregon out for the
Hell yeah, you do.
UCF?
Yes.
Okay, just wondering. Just making sure that's what you're doing.
Yes.
Okay.
So UCF
Bama,
would get that spot.
You guys tell me Bama, Clemson, Tennessee would get. Who would Tennessee get?
UCF. Which would be a nightmare. Who would want to watch that game?
But as long as Tennessee
that'd be a track meet.
Yeah.
That's what people said about App State though too. They have nothing to lose though. You guys got to remember that.
Hammonds, come on, tell him that UCF wouldn't have a shot.
We'll be throwing haymakers, but not really.
Can you imagine UCF having to play Tennessee in the playoffs?
I was watching Duke and Kansas. My bad.
I said, well, could you imagine UCF having to play Tennessee in the playoffs?
Yeah, it wouldn't go good.
That's what I said.
I'm still wondering about the Bama Clemson game though. If we had 12 teams,
I think the Bama Clemson game would be worth watching. I'm with Roberts that it would probably be an ugly game though.
Yeah, as long as you're a fan of one of the teams, it'd be ugly. But I mean, the 12-team playoff just makes things so much more easy.
I think it should be a 6-team winner of each conference and the highest group of 5.
So you think winner Power 5, right? This year it could be a 3 or 4 loss Pac-12 team.
Yeah, I know, and I would hate that, but still, at least it's just the winner that gets in. That's it. You're not talking about putting in another stupid team out of a conference that's got 3 losses. So
okay, well if you're gonna think that, then Tennessee gets excluded for a 3-loss highest ranked Power 5 team or highest ranked group of 5 team. So 1-loss Tennessee doesn't make it because you said 6 teams.
Yep, you get the 5 conference winners and the highest group of 5.
Okay, so the group of 5, so the highest group of 5 has 3 losses. You're going to put them in over Tennessee with 1 loss?
Yes.
You are.
If we're doing the 6-team, yes.
But that's why the 6-team doesn't make any sense.
Why does it not? It makes more sense than putting in, I don't know, than putting in Utah and UCLA who gets smoked by Arizona. I mean, come on.
The 12-team makes more sense because you could put in the conference winner and the runner-ups and still have 2 spots.
So if UCLA beats USC this weekend and they're sitting in the 10 spot or 11 spot, and they just got smoked by Arizona. I mean, come on, they deserve to be in the college football playoff.
But what I'm saying is that if you put in the Power 5 winners, right? And you have 7 spots to fill still. You have a 1-loss SEC and a 1-loss Big 10. They're obviously going to make it. Say you have a 2-loss Big 12, 2-loss Pac 12. They're obviously going to. They should be in over a fucking 3-loss a group of 5.
Well, right now the group of 5 has 2 losses. But
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But I mean,
currently.
Either way. I mean, so by Brad's rule, you're going to exclude Tennessee for a 2-loss group of 5.
Yes, if you're just saying you're taking the winners and the basically the winner of the group 5, then yes.
That's why I said the winner and the runner-up. should have precedence over the group of 5.
Now, technically,
We all seen what Cincinnati could do. It was the best team they ever had.
Are you really saying that LSU is the runner-up?
What they finish in the conference?
Number 1 in the West.
Okay. Well, who's number 2?
In the West?
Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the real number 2 is Tennessee.
The real number 2 would be Tennessee.
Okay. Well, then it makes my point better.
Because
you take the first place and the second place team, Tennessee still gets in. The group of 5 already has 2 losses for their champion.
Your issue comes in if LSU beats Georgia, then LSU is a 2-loss number 1 team.
And then Georgia still gets in with a second place.
Georgia's the number 2, and then Tennessee gets left out.
No, Tennessee does not. I said there's 2 spots to fill with a power 5. You don't have to fill them if they're 2-loss teams. You can put in a 1-loss, or the third place.
So a 3-loss Oregon team that finishes second place gets in
over a 2-loss Appalachian State. Yes, easy.
Because
what about a 4-loss USC team that's second place?
Are they? I mean, the Pac-12 isn't that bad.
No, because if USC loses the last 2 games, they're not in the championship game.
Yeah, they're not that bad. I mean, we got to sit here and be realistic, right?
No, they're going to lose to UCLA and Notre Dame. Yes, they are that bad. They will be 4 losses.
I want some of whatever you have, for 1. And for 2, we're going to sit here and just throw it out to the fucking wolves. I mean,
he likes chaos now, so.
I like chaos too, but that's not going to happen.
And I thought my jokes were bad.
All right, are we done with this college football ranking stuff? Because
yes, as long as we're done saying Bo Nix is the best quarterback in the Pac-12.
But I do want to say something about some of the games that happened this past weekend.
Well,
you talking about?
Did you even just see what happened in the Toledo game?
No.
I was watching the Toledo game. They won the game on a 4th down, and the guy grabbed him like near the goal line and twisted him around. He went in for the game winner.
Hey, that Toledo game was fired.
Yeah, it was a good football game.
No, I was watching basketball.
I'm watching the Duke, Kansas now.
Yeah, that's what I'm watching.
Hey, I was watching Kentucky earlier, though. Hammond, I was wondering if you wanted to still talk to me about North Carolina basketball or if you wanted to wait a few weeks.
Hey, man, the Kentucky-Michigan State game was an actual really good game to watch.
Well, if you look at it from a perspective, a lot of people's going to think, well, the game was ugly, offensively wise, but both teams played really good defense.
Yeah, that's true. And only one of the teams beat a ranked team. So I mean, that was a great game if you're a Michigan State fan.
And I tell you something too. I think Kentucky is better than they was last year.
Well, that's not hard to do. All you got to do is get past the round of 64.
I mean, all you got to do is just beat who was it?
St. Mary's, wasn't it?
No,
St. Peter's, man.
St. Peter's.
Even worse, St. Peter's, because St. Mary's I've actually heard of.
Yeah, take the St. Mary's thing and run with it next time.
St. Mary's plays Gonzaga every year.
Yes, and they beat them every once in a while. Yes, I know.
Every once in a while, they beat Gonzaga.
I know. But hey, if we're going to talk about basketball tonight, I want to bring something up. So tonight, Louisville lost another 1-point game to Appalachian State. They lost 61-60. Louisville has opened the season with 3 straight 1-point losses, and it's the first time since 1980 that a Division I school has opened the season with 3 straight 1-point losses.
Roberts, if you don't put your cookies away, I swear to God.
It's an ice cream. God.
Whatever. Snacking on something all the time.
But going back to Louisville, is that how you say it down in the South? Louisville? It's Louisville.
No, it's Louisville.
Louisville. So going back to Louisville.
No, it's not Louisville, man.
Then,
there's not 3 syllables.
going back to that, I don't know. That's kind of crazy.
They lost a third straight game by 1 point.
Doesn't it have to suck though? Like you're so close to being good.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy about this though? Louisville plays in the Maui Monday, and they play Arkansas.
And
Arkansas is gonna rail them.
Arkansas should kill them, to be honest with you. Should, but you never know how that'll go. But
Hey, Hammonds, what's the games in that tournament?
Let me see. Starts Monday, I believe. Yep. Texas Tech, Creighton, Ohio State and San Diego State, Cincinnati, Arizona,
yeah, it's
and
going to be
Louisville and Arkansas.
That's going to be a good tourney.
Yeah, that's gonna be a great one.
Yeah.
And then what's the one that Kentucky's in?
Kentucky's not in one.
You guys don't play tourneys?
No. Calipari don't like them.
Oh. Well, isn't the North Carolina tournament pretty good too?
I think so.
Hammond?
You got that?
Not on hand, no.
Both of us are going Hammonds.
Well, so next week is a feast week, basically, for college basketball. There's a lot of big tournaments. It will be a fun week. There's a lot of good games. But there is been a lot of upsets already. I mean, Grambling beat Colorado. Colorado turns around and beats Tennessee. Like I said, Appalachian State's won tonight.
North Carolina plays number 12 Indiana on November 30th.
Baylor plays Virginia Friday night, and UCLA plays Illinois Friday night.
Well, and Texas and Gonzaga play this Friday night.
Texas is one of those teams that should be good on paper, just like their football team. They should be good, right?
No, I said Friday night. Wait a second. That's tomorrow night they play.
But either way, Texas should be good. Should be.
The tournament that everybody likes to watch is it's the Maui and the Battle for Atlantis.
Yeah.
The Battle of Atlantis. Those games this year, let me see. Yeah, there's some huge games in this one. You got Kansas playing NC State, Dayton versus Wisconsin, Tennessee and Butler. You probably got a second-round matchup between Tennessee and Kansas early in the year.
Hey, Tennessee's going to beat Butler first. They couldn't even beat the last team they lost to. Butler ain't no joke.
Sure as I thought they would.
Well, Butler ain't no joke.
So Tennessee the other night when they lost to Colorado, I'm pretty sure they shot like 27% or something from the floor, and that's what beat them, I guess.
Are you sure that's what beat them?
I'm pretty sure Colorado beat them, not the floor. But
yeah.
It was the Buffaloes.
Yeah.
they were rumbling the stadium.
They
They
were.
ran all over the volunteers. There were so many volunteers. They said, I'll volunteer.
It was a herd of buffaloes.
Hey, Robert, who does Auburn play next?
What?
Who does Auburn play next?
Auburn is in Cancun.
They play Winthrop tonight.
And they're going to play some.
Auburn's taking a vacation in Cancun.
Yeah, well, they got to go get Harsin, because he's sitting in Cancun.
So they
Isn't
just
that where he was
they're
during
just taking some time off.
The whole entire deal with.
Hey, Brad, I think you
February,
need to take a vacation.
He was in Cancun.
Hey,
Brad.
Auburn's just taking some time
off.
off. They're vacationing in Cancun.
Hey, Brad, I think you need to take a vacation.
Uh-oh.
For real, let Hammonds host one of these. Go smoother. They'll be able to hear me and Roberts next time.
I'll go to Cancun. The hell with y'all. I'll be sipping me something on the damn beach.
Okay, so why is Duke just throwing up like random ass shots?
So Auburn plays Texas Southern on Friday, and then they are in Cancun versus Bradley, Northwestern, or Liberty. Yeah, those two.
Wow. Well, that's some stellar competition down there.
Then they're gonna play. Then they're gonna play. Then they're gonna finish the month out against St. Louis.
Roberts, don't let him talk to you. Didn't they just lose tonight?
So they are taking a vacation. That's what you're telling me.
I was telling Roberts, don't let Brad talk to you. Ask him about Kentucky basketball tonight, and he'll shut up.
No, I ain't gonna shut up. I'm all right.
I'll just ask him about the last time that Auburn played Kentucky.
Now that one might get me. You can shut the hell up on that one.
See.
Freaking Bruce Pearl. Yeah, I remember.
All right.
See, I know how to get him to be quiet.
Freaking Bruce Pearl.
Yes.
Great podcast, boys.
Yeah, man, it's been fun. I'm glad we got on and done this.
Everybody
tonight.
stay.
Are we gonna be heard?
Yeah. So everybody stay on for afterwards for a few minutes. So
Why?
just so we can talk about something.
I don't want to.
Okay, whatever happens. All right. All right. So we're going to end this up tonight. It's been fun. We'll get back kind of on schedule Thursday and do our game day pick'ems on Thursday again. We'll probably add in a few basketball games for our game day pick'ems. I think we'll start doing that and kind of mix this up and do football and basketball. So y'all can look forward to that. Maybe we'll try not to have a argument right in the middle of it this week. I'm not sure. I'm making no promises because these boys, they like to argue about everything, I think. So.
I promise to argue.
I promise I will keep 50% of the cuss
I
words out of
promise to
it.
break your promise.
I promise to be good.
All right. Well,
this is election season, right? So I should be making a lot of promises. Yes.
You can run against President Trump because he just announced he's running for president.
Yeah.
I do have the same name as the guy that is the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court.
Chief Justice, yeah, John Roberts, yeah,
Yep,
you do.
There you go.
Yep.
In fact, I used it when I was in D.C.
Oh,
so
did you?
Here's a funny story. I was hanging out with my cousins in D.C. and we went to some bar in Georgetown. Okay.
Yeah.
And this girl came
Oh,
up
damn,
to me.
great story, bro.
This girl comes up to me and she says, "Who are you and why are you important?"
Yeah.
And I said,
I'm John Roberts.
"I'm John Roberts. I'm the son of the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States United States Supreme Court."
If he was ever a Chief Justice, we'd be in trouble.
She just goes, "What?" And I said, "Bye."
If he was ever a Chief Justice, we'd be in trouble. Our country would be doomed.
So did it get you any perks?
Oh no, I did that just so I could walk away.
Damn it, you should have tried to get some perks out of that.
You strung us along for this long and you got nothing out of it. Oh, my word.
All right, so now we got the son of Chief Justice John Roberts on with us.
Hello, Chief John Roberts.
I'm the illegitimate son of Chief Justice.
Hey, if we ever have a Chief Justice John Hammond, we'll be dead. The whole country will be destroyed.
All right, guys, I'm going to end this.